Good evening. We're very glad that you joined us this evening. Welcome to all of our awardees. We are so happy to be here to recognize you. Welcome to all the families and friends, instructors, our industry partners, and PCC officials. We are delighted that you're here for our 5th annual CTE Awards Night. We had to count back and realize, oh, this is the 5th year we've done this, and so we're really happy to see you join us. And I recognize that we have some families that have been here before because their students were honored previously, the older students, and now we have students who are younger siblings who are also being recognized. Good job. We're here tonight to honor our region's top career and technical education students. Before we do that, I want to let you know just a little bit why we're doing this. We are PACTEC, which stands for the Portland Area Career Technical Education Consortium, and it includes 8 different school districts and a couple of other districts that are larger partners, and we are the official organization that represents and coordinates any Perkins CTE programs, and Perkins means that they're federally recognized. And so in order to be a federally recognized program, there are a lot of different expectations and requirements that have to be met. Much of this is facilitated by the teachers who teach in those programs. So you can find more information about us if you want to go to our website, which is in your program as well, too. But you can see from the state map, we're the yellow ones up there, so we're Washington County and East Columbia County. And while we don't take up a lot of room on the map, we have more programs than many other regions in the state. Well, I guess, it's because we're Portland and Beaverton and Hillsborough, all big cities. But we have some dynamic programs, not just a lot of them, but fantastic programs. And tonight, as you hear the stories of the students that are here being recognized, you're going to find out just how amazing the work is that our teachers and students do. There are 19 high schools that are listed in the Washington County area, and you can see all the different schools up there. And altogether, we have somewhere in the range of around 3,000 students that take CTE courses each year, minimum. This year is probably a little bit higher, but I don't have the numbers out yet because we've had such an increase. The state and the federal government have recognized the dramatic difference it makes in students' lives if they're involved in career and technical education. And so the winners of the awards that are here tonight are really the best of the best. It's amazing. The achievements that they're able to do and the direction that they'll have guiding them through the rest of their life is because of the work that our teachers have done and the way the students have applied themselves to do that work. So what is the program of study? How does this happen? Well, a program of study is really important because it's not just a class that a student takes, but it's a sequence of classes that builds on skills, challenges students. They have to have some career expertise that they go out and maybe do some externships. Maybe their program has some facilitated real life experiences like running businesses and doing projects and being parts of nationally recognized organizations. And those are the kinds of different activities that students have been able to participate in and that have given them the opportunity to shine. And what does this award mean? It means that these students are ready to face their future with some direction, with some skills already developed. Whether they continue in that program of study or go into something else, they're going to be able to take those experiences and that leadership with them to make a difference for them and the rest of us here. As we prepare to, as we prepare to have our keynote share the information that he has learned during this process, this is the first time we've had, first of all, a keynote that is a student. Normally we found leaders that were somebody in the community that we really, really appreciate what they've brought to the table and what they've shared with our teachers and students both. But this year I was at a CTE night at Sherwood High School, And I was so impressed by the student. I thought, students, this is for you. You probably don't really need to hear an old person like me talking. You need to hear what one of your peers is doing. And I was so excited that Brennan is going to be able to share his story with you and inspire you to do your very best, just as he is doing with his life, and facing the challenges and adventures that await him, and motivate you to go ahead and challenge yourself just as much too. So, Brennan, I'd love to have you come on up and share your story with everyone.
So people tell me all the time how lucky I am. And I started to reflect on the past year of my life, all the experiences that I've gotten, and I'm extremely grateful for all of them. Now, some of these include, almost exactly a year ago, they flew a German TV crew all the way from Germany to here to follow me and my family around for 2 days and film a short documentary that ended up airing on primetime television in Germany. A few months later, I found myself in a hotel room in St. Louis with 9 other young entrepreneurs like myself, and I found out I was the only one in that room who had not been on Shark Tank. Now, these experiences, I'm super lucky and grateful that I got to experience this in the last year, but I ran across a quote last week that really resonated with me. It's by the famous philosopher Seneca, and he says, "Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity." So when I really started to reflect on all these cool experiences I've had over the past year, I realized that it wasn't just luck that was happening to me. I was preparing myself and putting myself in the right situations to be able to take advantage of these opportunities. Now, the thing I really noticed was these weren't unique to me at all. In fact, these same principles that I was using could be applied to anyone, and I thought that was so cool. And I took advantage of it at a younger age, I think, and that's sort of what I took away from that. Now, I came here tonight to share with you guys and really encourage you I came here to encourage you to recognize and execute on all the opportunities that are standing right in front of you in your everyday life. So, a little bit more about my background. Like she said, I'm the founder and CEO of Hoopswag. We are a customized sock company. I started it when I was about 13 years old. If you guys know what the Nike Elite socks are in middle school, like everyone was wearing these things. They had like 4 basic colors at the time though. And me being that one kid, I was like, I need to do something different. So I figured out basically how to actually digitally print on these socks. It took about 9 months of research and development. And once I had basically figured out this process, I got some samples made, and I ended up basically with my own sock making machine in my garage at like age 14. So step back to now, I also run another company called The Sock Game, which they were our biggest competitor up until last year when we ended up acquiring them. And my latest startup is a company called Pet Party, where you actually upload a picture of your cat, dog, or face, and then we'll like crop it out and then print it on a sock and ship it to you in like 3 days. So we've got a warehouse out in Sherwood, Oregon, and we've got about 20 part-time people that work year-round. And then during Christmas, we hit upwards of like 40 to 60 people, depending on how busy we get. So the question I get asked by far most often is like, how did you get started? And it continues to amaze me to this day. Like, everyone thinks this is an overnight success that somehow just happened, but the reality is it is so far from that, it's not even funny. When I really started to think, like, how did I get from point A to like where I am now and all these little successes that I've had, I really broke it down to like, it started when I was 7 years old. So I figured out you could sell things on eBay, and this was so intriguing to me that I was going to like garage sales and Craigslist and Goodwills and flipping stuff. I even at one point sold pictures, like digital pictures of my goats. It was ridiculous. So at the time, I was like, oh, this is great. I'm making like $1 or $2, right? Like, I'm gonna go buy some gum. But what I didn't know was like each one of these little ventures that I was doing, they didn't really, like I said, they were making $1 or $2, but I was learning like super valuable little business like snippets and insights that I was able to like carry on to the next one. So I learned something, I move on to the next one, and I get better and better and better. So now I'm 13 years old, I have this super cool product. I didn't set out to start a sock company. I set out to find these socks because I was obsessed with them, and so were my friends. It just ended up that once I was 13, I have these cool socks. My friends love them. I was like, why don't I toss these on eBay? Maybe other people want them too. And that one thing led to another, and 4 years later, I'm running like a multi-million-dollar company. So like you guys over here, I took a ton of CTE classes in high school, and they were by far my favorite for one reason specifically. I was able to take what I learned in class one day, go home, and actually apply it to what I was doing, and I just couldn't see that as much with the other classes I was taking. So just a few prime examples of this. Woodworking. So we do a lot of prototyping because we're always trying to improve our manufacturing processes, and most of the stuff we do, we have to put them on these sock jigs. They're called jigs, templates for the socks. We've gone through hundreds and hundreds of versions of these things, and I couldn't have done any of that without any of the skills I learned there. Excel seems sort of like a basic skill, but I use this literally 2 to 3 hours a day, running inventory management, the finances. There's just endless uses that I see for it. And probably one of the most valuable skills I was taught was actually my freshman year of high school. I learned how to code. So I basically was able to redesign my entire website. Now I'm not only, I have full control over it. I'm not paying some dude $200 an hour to do something that may or may not get right or get done right. So that was extremely useful for me. That was immediate impact. My teacher even let me work on it in the class. It was great. And the one class I do regret not taking is welding. Just 2 weeks ago, I had to trade a welder a whole bunch of pairs of socks to fix my heat press machine because it was broken. So I do regret that. So while there is the bright side of everything that I do, and that's what a lot of people see, no one ever stops to question the maybe negatives that I have to deal with. So I spend about 3 hours of my day responding to emails and calls that I probably don't want to be answering, but I do anyways. And one of the big things that I've started to make a daily habit of mine, I started this probably about a year ago, was just meet one new person a day. And I've spent probably hundreds of hours on the phone in the past year talking to people, and most of them probably didn't go anywhere, but for me, that was one simple thing that I can do every day that open up doors and new opportunities. You never knew who was gonna be on the other side of the phone. I mean, you did, but you didn't know what opportunities they were gonna present to you. And so for me, that was one practical thing that really anyone could go do. And when I really started to look back on the success that I've had, whether it was with socks or the other stuff I've done, it all sort of originated from this idea of me seeking out opportunity and going creating it and not waiting for someone to come knock on my door and hand me a slip that says, "Yay, you win." It never happened like that. And so I'm just going to take a step back real quick, and those first two things I mentioned, the German film crew and how I ended up in St. Louis with all these kids, I'm just going to break down step by step how I got there. So it's November 2016, and this company, the Stock Game, sends me an email. They had been in the business for 5 years. They were the oldest, most authentic company out there. So I get this email, and I'm super excited. And they were we want to sell our company. And at first I was this is probably spam, but we got the email, and we talked to them. We were in negotiations for 2 to 3 months. We finally signed the papers and everything. And I was I just bought a company. That's cool. And at this point, it was probably February of 2017. So I knew I was going to okay, when other companies have done this, they go and do a press release and get some exposure for it, right? I was maybe it'll help boost our sales. I hadn't done that. Everything I do is kind of a learning experience. And so I actually ended up reaching out to my 7th grade PE teacher, who I remember I talked to that dude way too much in class. And I remembered that his wife did public relations. So I reached out to him, and I got in contact with his wife, and I very distinctly remember the first call. She's this is an awesome story. I think we can get you some serious coverage in Forbes or Entrepreneur Magazine or something. And I remember I was kind of laughing in my head. I was that's not going to happen. It's just not even possible. So that was February. We pitched for about 2 months. April comes around, and we'd been pitching, and we'd been paying her a lot of money to do this. And she comes back, and she's yeah, sorry, no one wants your story. And we're okay. I mean, I wasn't too disappointed. That was kind of what I was expecting, in all honesty. So she comes back, and it was one of those things, we assessed the risk before we did it, and I was okay, we're just going to take a loss on the money and move on with it. We learned something. So I wake up the next morning, and I get an email from her, and she's good news, CNN actually wants to do an exclusive interview with you. And so at this point, I'm super excited. They pestered me with questions for 6 hours, so I knew everything word by word, and then we did the 15-minute phone call with the reporter. And that was on a Friday, and she told us on Tuesday morning it would be up on CNN Money. So I wake up bright and early Tuesday, and I go on CNN Money, and it's just not there. And I was sweet, that's my luck, right? Yeah. So then my smart dad, who's actually sitting up there, he goes, "Dude, you know why it's not on CNN Money? It's on the front page." And so I go on like CNN.com, and I'm not kidding you, like my face is literally like plastered as the main image. So at this point, I still have to go to school. And so I'm like, this is gonna be a fun day. But at that point, I was like, this is as good as it can get, right? I was wrong. So Saturday night, I'm playing a basketball game in like a rec league with my buddies at like Franklin High School. And at halftime, I check my phone, and I have like 9 missed calls from this random number. So I give this number a call back. It turns out it's like a K2 reporter. And she's like, hey, can we be at your house in an hour? And I was like, sure. So I just leave at halftime, go home, shower, like throw some clothes on, and we do this news interview, and it goes live on like the 11 o'clock news. And I was excited about that too. So I wake up the next morning, and the AP had picked this story up. If you guys don't know what that is, it's like the Associated Press. Basically, it means it was blasted out across the nation to every single local news station, newspaper. We had friends in like Dubai who had found this thing on their TV in a hotel. It was ridiculous. So I couldn't have ever told you that from me, like even considering buying this company in November, almost 9 months ago, that like I could have ended up on the front page of CNN, and not even that, but there was that's where the opportunity for this German TV crew flying all the way, like halfway across the world to my house to film a documentary. Like that was so not even in the question. And so it just goes to show, like you never know what's gonna happen when you open these doors, so you have to open every door because you don't know what's on the other side. So my other example, St. Louis. So I am always looking to connect with other young entrepreneurs. Like it's one of my favorite things to do. And so I was looking online, and this was probably like October 2016, and I found this, there's only one competition, and it's put on by the Baylor Youth Teen Entrepreneurship Program at Baylor. And so I convinced my graphics teacher to like nominate me, and yeah, so we got her to nominate me, and we had to go through like this whole application process, and they fly me down there. I go to meet with these other like 10 kids, and I met this kid named Ian. And he was talking about how he's like part of this like exclusive little club for entrepreneurs, and I was like, oh, I want in. So I got him to like connect me with the supervisor or whatever, and he sends this intro email, and this woman just did not respond. And I was like, okay, like that's fine, that happens all the time to me. So I kept following up with her over and over and over, and I never got a response. It took about 10 to 12 times before I got a response from this woman. Finally got her like on the phone with me, and she was like, okay, let's give it a shot. So they were gonna fly me out to St. Louis, and this was in like November this year that I went, or sorry, last year that I went, and I had actually just finished like a state playoff game for soccer, and I literally drove back from South Eugene, like got my stuff, went to the airport, and flew to St. Louis. And so at this point, I'm like just beyond tired, like lackadaisical, and we're in this hotel room, and all these kids, like, it was the most interesting conversation I have ever listened to, because they're all like, oh, I was on Good Morning America, and I was on Ellen. And I was like, you're not on Ellen, but the one thing, they're all like, oh, I was on Shark Tank, and we're going around the circle, and I'm like, oh, nothing. But it was just interesting, like, how did I could have never told you, me, like, researching this little competition to meet other like-minded people, I somehow end up in this hotel room across the country with a lot of people who I'm really good friends with now. So a huge concept that I live by every day is this concept of reverse engineering. I'm, like, very task-oriented, so if I know like I have to do 1, 2, and 3 to get to my like point, that's super helpful for me. So in my mind, sort of what reverse engineering is whether you're breaking down, whether it's like a person you aspire to be, a company, a product, whatever it may be, like I like breaking that down, and someone obviously took steps to get to where they did. So I break those down and I say, okay, here's how they did it. Maybe I can improve upon this and make it better, or at least it gives you a starting point instead of like heading blank into something. So in preparing for tonight, I kind of reverse engineered, and I started asking people who were 20, 30 years into their career, sort of what was the most impactful experience or opportunity that sort of led them to where they are today. So I'm just gonna share a few of these examples with you guys. So first up, we have Dawn. So Dawn is now a nurse, but her first job out of high school was an assistant to a microbiologist. And she literally was doing this just because she needed to pay her bills. It had nothing to do with biology or science or anything. So she was doing like data collection, washing equipment, shipping and handling, so like super, super low level stuff, like just intern basically stuff. But what she didn't know is that this experience working there and her boss, they totally changed the course of her entire life. She ended up, now she's a full-time nurse and she loves what she does every day, but she never would have known that had she not just given this job a try. So our next example is Colin. Colin is now a financial director at Nike. But his first job was he was an administrative assistant at a marketing research firm. Like, those two just don't really connect. But I remember the first thing he mentioned was like how this work just seems so low level, and like, why would he have to do this? Like, he's out of college. Like, why is he working as like this super low level intern? But he was super thankful that he like still gave it 100% and like went all into what he was doing, because he talked about these like business concepts and just personal concepts that he still carries with him throughout to like in his work today. Two of those being, every person, no matter where you are in a totem pole, in a group, in a company, whatever it may be, you can contribute to the overall success and production of a group. And second of all, giving 100% to a job, even when he may not have wanted to, because it might not have been very pretty or fun or whatever it may be, he was glad he did because he got a lot more out of that. So talking to all these people, I took away two key things. People are going to seek and find jobs that fulfill them one way or another. They're going to keep looking throughout their career to find something that truly fulfills them. And second of all, people's first jobs are most often the most important and impactful. Everyone said that they would not be where they were today if they didn't have that first job. They could have ended up somewhere totally different. So I didn't come here tonight to like lecture you guys on CTE classes, because clearly if you're here, you like know what you're doing with your CTE classes. But I do encourage all of you guys, especially over here, to leverage those skills, because I have a unique perspective where I took those same classes, I sat in the same classes, but I'm also hiring people and I'm on an employer standpoint. And those skills that you're really gaining from those classes are truly valuable in the real world. And you have the opportunity to go leverage those and create opportunities for yourself that a lot of people might not be able to. So if I could leave two things with you guys tonight, it would, number one, recognize and execute on all opportunity. It's all around you, even if it may seem ordinary. You have to open doors, and sometimes you have to go create it for yourself. You have to recognize it in all situations. Sometimes it's a job you're going to take. Sometimes it's a random dude you sit next to on an airplane, and sometimes, in my case, it was my 7th grade PE teacher that I talked to like way too much. And second of all, one thing leads to another. Just building a solid foundation is super important. Everything you're doing is helping you progress on your path in life, and you have to remember you cannot worry about other people's paths, because no two are ever going to be the same. So a big congrats to everyone here on the recognition tonight. It's so awesome. And I would wish you guys all luck, but I'm pretty sure you're going to go create that for yourself.
Well, Brennan, thank you. I don't even remember what I was doing when I was 17. Oh, gosh. Do you ever slow down? No, I kind of thought not. Well, everyone, we're here now for the most important people, and that's all of you over there. And we're so very, very grateful to your teachers for what they have done and given you, and so very proud to be able to share your stories tonight to all the families that are here, and to say congratulations to you all. So teachers, you ready? Along with our teachers this evening, we are going to have 4 amazing people congratulating. Beth Mullenkamp, who is our regional coordinator, you've met her. Kendra Colley, who is the Dean of Academic Affairs at PCC, Brennan you know. And Mr. Charlie Hopewell, who is one of our biggest fans, I think. President of Jewett Cameron Company. Thank you. Yeah, our first student tonight is going to be introduced by his teacher, as are all our students here. And this is Mr. Tim Eggleston from Banks High School.
Thank you, Robin. Mr. Paul Lepschot. Paul is a leader in the truest sense of the word, both in our CTE program as well as our FFA chapter, as he constantly sets an example for his peers to follow. Paul has taken and excelled in every class offered through our agriculture program, including our capstone metal fabrication class this spring. In Metal Fab, he pushed himself from his technology comfort zone to design, draw, and cut out on the CNC plasma a fire pit for his family. In our FFA chapter, Paul has earned a state FFA degree, which is the highest degree that a member can earn in our state association, and went on to run for a state FFA office. Paul plans to attend PCC to become a paramedic, while he will no doubt use his leadership skills and lightheartedness to make sure that his patients receive the highest quality of care. Congratulations, Paul.
Ms. Nadia Hassan from Beaverton High School.
Good evening. Bryce was chosen for this award because of his tireless work and dedication in our pathway. His work in all of the classes has always been exemplary, and he's demonstrated skills that any employer would wish they could see in all of their employees: dedication, integrity, grit, and professionalism. He's completed some of our courses, and in each class, he went above and beyond. The most important work that he did was the work that he did with our DAM magazine. Over the summer, 20 students over the summer decided to start a literary magazine. And Bryce took the layout job, which was to put these pages and bring them to life with the art and writing of our students. Congratulations, Bryce.
Ms. Andy Ellis, Beaverton High School.
Thank you. And Beaverton School District Health Careers Program is excited to award our CTE Student of the Year to Jessica Villegas Mendoza. So Jessica is special to our program. She, of course, fulfilled all of our courses, including Health Careers 1, Anatomy and Physiology, and Advanced Health Careers, along with dual credit in MP 111 Medical Terminology. Jessica has been an outstanding and successful student for us in both classroom and clinical settings. We found Jessica to be the person that was the encouraging friend in uncertain situations, like your first day in a long-term care facility where you're going to interview someone that you don't know and that may have a chronic illness. She was the one that not only completed her interview, but she encouraged other students who are feeling a little sense of apprehension as well. Without fail, in all the different places she explored in the hospital and different dental offices, she displays a certain kind of tenacity combined with kindness, and this was just without fail in every place we sent her during the year. Jessica is also the recipient of the Kaiser Healthcare Scholarship this year and explored in our program nursing and dentistry, and she will be attending PCC in the fall, pursuing a career in dental hygiene. I'm also bringing greetings from two other teachers, Paula Jacobs and Matt Bea, and they just wanted to share this. Every single rotation site in particular that Matt Bea went on, they asked this question: how long before you can get Jessica licensed so that we can hire her? So we are very excited to name her as our CTE Student of the Year.
Ms. Katie Robinson, Beaverton High School.
So the marketing program at Beaverton would like to recognize Aiden Hanks. Aiden is the epitome of a hardworking, focused CTE student. Aiden has taken almost every single marketing class offered at BHS and has earned high grades through her creative and thoughtful approach to her coursework. She teamed up with classmates to raise and donate $20,000 to Make-A-Wish. She designed the remodel of the BHS student store. She managed the daily operation of BHS To Go and The Pond, and she earned not one, but 2 professional program awards from PCC in leadership and project management. Aiden completed all of these accomplishments while participating in a varsity sport and working a huge number of hours as both a nanny and in guest membership services. She is and will continue to be a tremendous teammate for anyone who is lucky enough to work with her. She will be attending PCC in the fall. Congrats, Aiden.
Mr. Chris Winnica, Century High School.
I am pleased to honor sophomore Dom Wilson, a student who is passionate for technology and a leader in computer technology at Century High School. In just 2 years at Century, Dom has already enrolled in and thrived in 4 computer-related courses, such as digital technology, graphic design, AP computer science principles, and web design, in addition to accelerated and AP math and science. Dom participates after school in robotics and computer game design, Under his direction, the computer game his team developed won Best in Show, the top award at the Oregon Game Project Challenge this past May, and already has plans for his team's next video game. It has been a privilege as his teacher to observe the leadership role that he played in the months leading up to the challenge. He kept his team focused on meeting all achievements for the competition and even stepped in when needed to resolve personnel conflicts. He was professional in his demeanor, whether speaking with adult judges at the competition or encouraging elementary students to pursue technology at one of our elementary school's STEAM night. I am pleased to recognize Dom Wilson as Century High School's Computer Technology Program CTE Student of the Year, and I am looking forward to seeing his future contributions to our school and to the greater community in Oregon and beyond. Congratulations, Dom. Congratulations, Dom. What's next?
Stepping in tonight for Mr. Wade Sims, Gaston High School, is Joe Mock.
I'm not Wade Sims, and as you see, this is not Mr. Keegan. Keegan Rao. Since Keegan was a 7th grade student in Mr. Sims' woodshop, he has shown great interest in working with his hands and enjoyed his challenges he faces while working on many important jobs. Keegan has been a part of 2 Bowman House cabinetry projects, and in addition, cabinetry project for Gaston Fire Department. Keegan took on leadership opportunities during these times to help complete the projects on time. He is a hard worker who regularly devotes extra hours to our jobs to make sure we are meeting our timelines and the quality that customers demand. Keegan has completed all of the classes offered in our construction program and has returned to the advanced cabinetry class 3 times to provide his leadership. In addition to his accomplishments in cabinetry, Keegan is very proficient in our manufacturing program, where he is very good with high-tech equipment. Keegan uses CNC vinyl, CNC routering, laser engraving, and 3D printing while completing projects in class. He is very versatile and carries a broad range of talents in his tool bag. Congratulations to Keegan for a job well done.
You know, there are times when scheduling just doesn't work out, and this was one of them for the Keegan family. Had planned a family reunion in Idaho, and that's where Keegan is. And Mr. Wade Sims had promised his wife a trip to Germany, and they're actually flying home right now, so that's why we're missing them this evening. Mr. Jeffrey Krepper, Health and Science School. Jeffrey is going to be doing 3 students.
Yeah, unfortunately, my colleagues could not be here today. So first up, it's my pleasure to introduce Mazen Ashfaq. Mazen has been an integral part of our Project Lead the Way biomedical program and is one of our top students, taking advantage of every opportunity to challenge himself. Mazen intrinsically knows how to push himself to do his best. His work ethic and integrity sets him apart from his peers. Mazen is taking all of our biomedical classes and is currently taking courses at OAT and Portland Community College. He takes advantage of opportunities that we as teachers presented to him, and he's always willing to step up and be later or participate in a new challenge. One of them is helping teach our middle school medical detectives class. He does an awesome job. Mazen is well respected by his peers at Health and Science. He's a confident leader, yet humble and well respected. He works extremely well with both adults and his peers. He effectively hears everyone's ideas, and even different than his own. He minimizes conflict and can complete a task or solve a problem efficiently. Mazen's true character shines with how he treats others. He is humble, approachable, and treats others with respect. His character is a reflection of strong family values. Mazen has the ability to step into someone else's shoe and assess their feelings and understand their needs. In October 2017, he presented at the National Project Lead the Way Summit in Orlando, Florida, about his work with Biomedical Capstone Project that combines both engineering, computer science, and biomedical science. At this conference, he presented on the main stage to an audience of over 3,000 educators and leading industry professionals. Last spring, Mazen helped lead our HOSA after-school program for middle school students. He also helped students with dissections and lead STEM activities in biomedical labs. Mazen is such a natural at leading other students, and so much of that is currently serves as a biomedical lab assistant in our middle school program. Our middle school students absolutely love him, and he does such a great job elevating the rigor of that class. Congratulations, Mazen. Thank you, sir, for that one. And unfortunately, and I guess fortunately, Doug Smith, his daughter, is graduating today from University of Oregon in the pre-med program. So it's my pleasure to introduce Jane Hain. Jane has been an important part of our program of study, and we heavily relied on her leadership skills to accomplish our goals. This year, as we mentioned in our last one, our program was recognized nationally as one of the top Project of the Way biomedical programs, and we could not pull it off without her keeping our other students in line, as well as helping her help present on the main stage at the national convention. She is an undeniable positive and uplifting influence to her peers. She keeps her peers, and let's be honest, Mr. Smith too, accountable and on task. Most of us admire her ability to work with everyone and help keep any situation calm. Jane always brings us back to what is important and what we know this will be a helpful skill in her future career. It's also been great to see Jane build her confidence in her academic and career-related skills. It's so much that she also has reached out and explored other areas of interest, which is a perfect example of how she challenged herself to take our engineering capstone as well. That problem-solving and innovation skills even helped her design and innovate a product. She knows how to ask questions and define and challenge her own original ideas in hope of viewing the problem in a different way. This year, she also took courses at OIT, Oregon Institute of Technology, and will be graduating high school as a sophomore in college. We're so proud of Jane and all of our hard work. Congratulations, Jane. And unfortunately, Ms. Harris's husband is having emergency surgery, so she is not here. So it's my pleasure to introduce Ariana Volker. Ariana has been an amazing biomedical student in our program from the very beginning. She is extremely self-disciplined. She is a reliable hard worker and knows how to push herself to do her best. She is an individual with incredible integrity and sound moral character that we admire and respect. We also admire how she confidently navigates teamwork and is comfortable working with both adults and peers. I might add, she hates getting her picture taken, though. You're welcome for that. She knows how to respect for her peers and has an empathetic leadership style. Ariana knows how to include everyone as part of a team to increase productivity in our group projects. That's actually also been a big part, too, for helping us as teachers, because as I mentioned before, as our program is fairly new, and so she's been a huge asset helping prepare in our program and our lab materials behind the scenes. We've seen her participate in class discussions and debates about difficult topics such as vaccination rights, cochlear implants, nuclear energy, gene editing, and we're all personally impressed by her all-encompassing worldview and cultural competency in seeing all sides of an issue. We will sincerely going to have to miss having Ariana as part of our program, as she has served as an important biomedical lab assistant. She has helped everything with making and prepping agar plates to make gels for electrophoresis to organizing our entire chemical inventory. It's going to be rough without her, but Ms. Harris says we are confident that she is moving forward with amazing lab skills unlike other high school students. Ariana naturally leads a busy lifestyle. In fact, she thrives in this type of environment. Throughout my years knowing Ariana, I have continually been impressed with how she manages and deals with stress and how she uses difficult situations to only better herself. This will be an important skill that she strives to become a successful biomedical health professional. Congrats, Ariana.
Mr. Tom Baker, Health and Science School.
Edgar Cortez Dominguez is a 2018 and last year's 2017 CTE Student of the Year for Health and Science School's Engineering Program of Study. In the engineering pathway, Edgar has completed Introduction to Engineering Design, Principles of Engineering, Digital Electronics, Computer Science Principles, and the Engineering Capstone class. Edgar's Engineering Capstone class is applying for a patent. They have not completed their work, so I cannot disclose that at this time. The two responses when people under non-disclosure hear about their idea is, one, I'm sure that that's already out there, and two, when can I buy one? Last summer, Edgar built his own electric guitar, and he has served as a TA for the digital electronics class. In addition, Edgar is the school's lead laser technician, helping other students use the laser to etch glass, engrave or cut wood. Edgar worked tirelessly laser etching glasses for this year's exhibitions of learning and teacher appreciation events. Over 100 glasses etched each time. Edgar also helps with the middle school woodworking club. Congratulations and thank you, Edgar, and you are very irreplaceable. I miss you. Thanks so much, Edgar. Thank you.
Mr. Tim Casper, Hillsborough High School.
It's my pleasure to introduce Cece Contreras. Cece is graduating this June as a full IB diploma candidate, the highest academic honor awarded to a graduating senior at Hill High. Throughout high school, while electing to take the most rigorous coursework, Cece has pursued her preparation for her intended college major and eventual career in business. She has earned an A in every business course offered at Hillsborough High School, including our capstone business management course, which her senior capstone she completed her senior project. Both during Cece's junior and senior years, she has been a marketing manager of a school-based enterprise, the Spartan Cafe. Cece has also used her transferable marketing skills in her role as director of publicity in our student government. At the beginning of Cece's junior year, she worked with her marketing teacher to establish a Untitled Chapter, and with everything she does, Cece was all in and participated in the state competition with a few other students and went on to nationals within a few months of establishing a new chapter. At state this year, Cece was recognized and honored for her dedication to Hill High DECA when the chapter received an award for the highest percentage membership growth within a year. And from the beginning, Cece has been a champion for CTE programs, has been a student ambassador at Hill High for the district, being asked to lead tours of our CTE programs, participating in district and community panels, emphasizing the importance of CTE and career pathways in high school. Cece plans to attend the University of Oregon, majoring in international business. She has received the Pathway to Oregon Scholarship. It has been an honor to have her as a student the last 4 years. It is not often you come across a student who truly understands the benefit of CTE programs at such a young age. She has been a model CTE student, and we could only be so lucky to have more like her in our Hill High CTE programs. Even though he's going to year ahead.
Hey, for Liberty High School, we have come on, Kelly. Kelly Purdy is the CTE specialist for the Hillsborough District and is going to be presenting for the 2 students at Liberty.
Thank you. Caitlin Maher is a student that is ready to support the opening duties of Liberty High School's on-site early childhood program, Falcon's Nest Preschool. She is ready at 7:30 a.m. and completes the jobs necessary before she heads off to class. Caitlin also returns every other day to help prepare the preschoolers' lunch. She strives to capture the children's journey of learning by documenting learning that happens through play. Caitlin also strives to build a bridge from home to school by creating reader packs and create a rotation system that allows families to enjoy books and story extensions at home. The activity she encourages families to carry out is a great way for guardians to see the power of reading and writing, even if it is just scribbles to tell a story through illustrations. Her reader packs are empowering our youngest of learners to believe that they are capable. It is a pleasure to have Caitlin complete the Child Services Pathway, for she understands this is so much more than a class. As she develops her resume and portfolio, she is also leading the way for our future learners to become leaders. Congratulations, Caitlin. Ruben Sanchez Flores. This young man is an exceptional student who is not only academically outstanding, but humble, perseverant, dependable, and efficient. He seeks out opportunities to not only better himself academically and personally, but to also help those in his community. Once he sets his mind to something, he will do anything possible to accomplish the task precisely, quickly, and accurately. As a volunteer, Ruben stands out due to his commitment, dedication, and willingness to work with people in a variety of situations. Ruben devotes his time to things that he is passionate about. He's a volunteer at the Tuolity Community Hospital since July of 2016 with over 200 hours of service. He has also been a member of Liberty High School's Key Club, a club dedicated to community service since his sophomore year. As a peer mentor, he has helped at-risk freshmen become successful in high school. Ruben has taken 8 AP classes and 4 dual credit classes through our local community college, PCC. He has shown great problem-solving skills, research and collaboration in health sciences in the Cure Cancer Research Program at Oregon Health and Sciences University, and is continuing research this summer. Without a doubt, in his teacher's mind and my mind, Ruben is one of the most college-ready students and has now earned his Student of the Year title. As a leader, Ruben is considerate, diplomatic, and well thought out. He's been an advocate for students in school board and district meetings. He stands up for what he thinks is right by raising awareness and speaking up. In May of 2017, Ruben gave a TEDx youth talk titled 1 in 5 Million about the struggles students with undocumented parents face on a daily basis. He was invited by the city of Hillsborough to give his speech again at the Northwest Public Employees Diversity Conference in Portland, Oregon. We are most certain that he will be the perfect addition to any program at the university level. To any community of leaders, we are confident that he will bring enthusiasm, energy, and talent. Congratulations, Ruben.
Mr. Ryan Poser, Scappoose High School.
Good evening. My choice for Student of the Year in my business marketing program was Dakota Fennell. Really easy choice. She was in my intro to business class, and she separated herself in a key amount of ways, but she was always asking questions, constantly searching for learning opportunities. A lot of kids tend to just breeze through. Dakota was looking to make everything she did better. And as a teacher, you don't find that very often. One of our major projects was a business plan, and she wrote one on a tattoo shop, and I think she has aspirations of being a tattoo artist and potentially owning her own business. So kids, like Brennan told you, branch out. You might want a tattoo one day. You might want to meet Dakota before the night's over and get her contact information. So, but yeah, great worker, strives to do her best, and everything she did was just a pleasure to grade and to read, and interacting with her was awesome. So, put your hands together for Dakota Fennell. Congratulations. Good job.
Ms. Tara Adams, Scappoose High School.
I would like to introduce Savannah Gannier. Savannah Gannier's work in early childhood education has progressed and developed in our year together. Ms. Gannier has met the challenge of taking both ECE 120 and 121, and she is committed to making learning visible to her assigned preschool student by putting together documentation boards of her preschooler's work in progress, and that's her and Enzo up there. She has advocated for our program by allowing her work to be shown to the district office and the community at large. Savannah's lesson planning skills have increased, and her ability to facilitate and document emergent curriculum has expanded. Her work has been used to demonstrate to the community that our Preschool Palace program is committed to the current best practices in education. More importantly, Ms. Gannier's preschool student has also shown great improvement in his work and his ability. She has taught a student to write using hands-on methods such as tracing in sand, using a variety of writing utensils, and combining her knowledge of handwriting development with best practices to keep her student engaged and interested in learning this new skill. Ms. Gannier has also embraced new methods when teaching math. While studying alternative teaching methods like Waldorf, she wrote in reflection, "By teaching students through art, they are able to see evidence of their understanding as time goes on, and their skills in specific areas are improving." Her and her lesson incorporated 3D art built by the student, which demonstrates his counting skills. Ms. Gannier is a wonderful educator, and her student has received the gift of her pedagogical approach. Ms. Gannier is also the National Honor Society Vice President and has received the Scholar Athlete Award. Congratulations.
Ms. Allison Meadows, Sherwood High School.
I'd like to introduce Mr. Brenton Rux. Mr. Rux, to be lighthearted, is what we call a true grease monkey. Brendan is the type of student who will drop what he is doing to help in the classroom, shop, or even outside the classroom. He is the type of individual who knows that some jobs they just need to be done, and he's not above doing them. He likes the dirty, he likes the labor-intensive stuff, he likes to help the team, and he'll do what he needs to do to get those jobs done. Frequently, he's been the guy to haul greenhouse soil before school, work long hours, extra hours in the greenhouse, and spend lunchtime working in the welding shop. While others ask for tasks to be completed, Brenton finds things that need to be done and completes them with care and focus. Brenton has a very diverse skill set, which is why he has become my go-to guy. I've even called him outside of school a couple times, asked him to stop by my house to ask for truck advice. Frequently I call him when my truck is broke down. Brenton is the first guy I call. He is my mechanic, he's the guy who knows it all, and if he doesn't, he knows the person who does. I would imagine that when this young man is in his, let's say, mid-20s, he's going to be the guy who owns a house on the block that every person in town comes to for advice with their home, with their car, or their motorcycle. Even yesterday, it was Sunday, I contacted Brenton and said, hey, we need to get this barbecue trailer out of the shop so you guys can work on it during the summer after he's graduated. And he said, yep, I just have to shower real quick, be there in 10 minutes. 10 minutes he was down there, we had that thing rolling on wheels outside the shop. That's kind of been his baby. But he just drops what he does. He just drops everything he's doing to help me out, and he's going to be the guy that I'm probably still going to call, even though he's got a 9-to-5 job. I'm positive that his drive to please others, to help others, and his ability to learn new skills will lead to his future success. So congratulations, Brenton.
Standing in for John Dickover this evening is Mr. Terrell Smith, also Sherwood High School. No, not Terrell? No, you're not. You're not? You're going to do it instead?
Yeah,
Okay.
Terrell's down there. He'll be here in a second.
Okay, this is Clark Ferrand, also Sherwood High School.
Good evening. I am here for Mr. Dickover tonight. Interestingly enough, he's not here because he and I coach our son's baseball team, and somebody had to be at practice tonight. So I got to dress up, and he's out herding 9-year-olds. So I'm lucky enough to present this award to Mr. Jacob Whistler. Before I start John's comments, I'm very excited to be able to do this. He very easily could have been my award winner, and so unbeknownst to me, John had picked him, so it worked out well for everyone. So I can definitely vouch for his credibility for being here. John says, you would never know it now, but Jacob was a late starter in the construction program at Sherwood High School. He spent many of his earlier high school years honing his enthusiasm for working with his hands and thinking outside the proverbial box in other areas of CTE. This year, he's shown incredible growth and potential by utilizing his skills in the other areas of CTE and combining them in the wood shop. Jacob has connected the dots by drawing designs for motors, transmissions, building guitars out of shovels, and combining his skills of CAD, engineering, and woodworking. Jacob will have a promising future because he has a tremendous work ethic. He has never once in any of his courses been told that he needs to get going or stay on task. He's a self-starter, motivated, and truly wants to find the answers to questions. It has been a pleasure to have him in my classes. My job would be much easier if I had 35 people like Jacob, although I'm not sure I would be able to keep up. Congratulations, Jacob. Good job, buddy. All right, my award winner is Kyle Dufresne. In the past, when the email arrived inviting me to nominate my student, so I wrote this before the rest of this, so keep that in mind. In the past, when the email arrived inviting me to nominate my student, I knew exactly who was going to receive the award, and it was just a matter of writing it up. It was pretty much predetermined. This year I was blessed to have a significant dilemma with a diverse shortlist of 4 extremely qualified candidates that I could have happily presented this award to. Each had unique skills and strengths, which made them difficult to compare. I had a creative maker, who you just saw, a CAD wizard, and a young woman whose integration of programming into her work is truly next level. So Jacob, Will, and Emma, here's your shout out. Thank you for being amazing students of engineering. But tonight's honoree, who beat them out for me, is the victor of a brutal gladiator-style competition that I staged to decide a winner for the entertainment of my other students. No, not really. If I had to choose a single thing that did push Kyle to the top of this very qualified list of candidates, it would be his consistent, selfless contributions to the program, so I'm going to focus on that. For several years, he has been my right-hand man, voluntarily taking on the task of maintaining our stable of, at times unstable, rapid prototyping machines. I can't count the number of times that I've said, "Hey Kyle, what's up with the blank?" And not only did he have an answer, but it usually ended with, "And so it works now." As many of you out there who are educators know, you know what a luxury it is to have a student whose judgment and technical ability you completely trust. If Kyle tells me something is broken, it's broken. If he tells me it needs work, the conversation usually ends with a part recommendation that, in all honesty, I many times am slow to follow up on, and he patiently would give me reminders to do so. You know the tables have turned when you start to feel like you've let a student down, not the other way around. Kyle has worked his way through my engineering 1 through 4 classes, mastering multiple CAD packages and digital fabrication machines, as well as serving as my CTE apprentice, independently pursuing both individual and collaborative projects. The bottom line, if I need something done and done well, Kyle was easily my choice. Outside of the classroom, he served as the robotics club president for 2 years, is a member of Model UN, and plays varsity tennis. Kyle plans to study mechanical engineering at Oregon State in the next fall, and I see a big future for him. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, buddy.
Now the infamous Mr. Terrell Smith, Sherwood High School.
Brooke Mylander, simple qualification for this award is she's the greatest kid in America. I have had the privilege of having Brooke Mylander in my computer science classes for the last 4 years. She has concentrated on programming and the founding leader of the Girls Who Code Club. Brooke and one of her friends had the dream of creating a community of girls interested in high-tech skills and careers. Even before she took classes from me at Sherwood High School, she had that dream of the library at Sherwood, but didn't know how to do it, and we put that dream together when she took some courses in computer science from me at Sherwood High School, and that dream has become a reality. Brooke is eager to learn and try new experiences. Her strong work ethic allows her to plow through otherwise daunting materials. She always wears a smile, even when she faces these challenges, and she's nervous right now, but she's probably still smiling. I can't really tell, but I think she is smiling. So as we worked through and implemented starting these clubs through these challenges, she has been the one who has taken the lead on these. She has 15 girls that are participating. She takes the lead for the underrepresented in the computer science. That's been a life work for her, at least within these 4 years, and she's realized that dream. She attended the 8-week Girls Who Code internship program in Los Angeles in the summer of 2016. Brooke is a member of Sherwood National Honor Society, the Interact Service Club, and the regional Chick Tech organization. She seeks out opportunities to serve and extend her knowledge and to influence the world. Brooke is a force for equity as well as a wonderful individual. Brooke maintains a 3.9 GPA while being involved in all these activities, and I haven't even mentioned her involvement in other extracurricular activities as well. Brooke has twice received the National Council for Women in Technology Aspirations Award and is the current National Honorable Mention awardee. She has also been awarded the Outstanding Computer Science Student of the Year at Sherwood High School for her sophomore, junior, and senior years. Look out, high-tech world. Here comes Brooke Mylander. Brooke will be attending Cal Poly in the fall and majoring in, well, what else? Computer science. Brooke, the great Mylander.
Mr. Mike Herdrich, St. Helens High School. And that really isn't for you.
You know, I think one of the toughest jobs an instructor has every year is to pick out just one exemplary student from the wonderful young people we get to work with. In my 20 years of teaching, I've learned that every student excels at something, even if it's just pushing your buttons. But still, given the opportunity, I'd recognize each and every student that I have the pleasure of working with. With that said, though, this year, one young man truly stood out, Mr. Chris Conley. Chris has all the qualities that an instructor and an employer hopes to see in our future workforce. This aspiring young tech is not just here every day ready to work and ready to learn, but actually works harder than most other students in the class. Chris is in my lab and classroom 3 periods a day, 2 as an advanced tech and also as a teaching assistant in one of my Auto 2 classes. In his role as TA, Chris is an integral part of the teaching process, of course. He models work habits, establishes relationships so important to engaging younger students. Chris is patient, supportive of his underclassmen, and acts as another set of eyes and ears in a really busy shop environment. He also helps maintain our culture of respect, professionalism, and safety. Chris has already achieved several professional certifications as a senior. He's just completed 7 of the tough automotive service excellence certifications. He's mastered all 9 SP2 certifications that are offered. And I also understand he's going to work Monday, starting in the industry as a lube technician. And as if great attendance, 95% grade average, strong work ethic weren't enough, Chris is also skilled in the business that we run there at St. Helens High School. I can count on Chris to meet and greet customers professionally, follow through on all the paperwork from beginning to the very end. So Chris, it is my great privilege to present this well-earned recognition to you.
And returning, Mr. Joe Mock, St. Helens High School.
Alexis Finch. Alexis has overcome so much to be this year's Construction Student of the Year. Not only is she the only female on our construction crew this year, she is also the foreman for the group and has been instrumental in critiquing relationship issues and student concerns before they were able to get out of hand. Alexis has an eye for detail and has given me several game-changing ideas to develop into my curriculum for the following years. She is quick to think outside the box and has almost single-handedly come up with both this year's and last year's house designs for our remodeling program. Alexis also drew up complete landscaping design for this year's house on her own, and several times this year has randomly decided to buy and bring in snacks for her fellow classmates. Has nothing to do with this award. Recently, she was part of Stanley Black & Decker's video contest, which won $4,000, and also a Skills USA contestant in which her video placed first. Speaking of Skills USA, she also completed in carpentry these last 2 years at the state level and has been a great part of the team here at St. Helens High School. Congratulations, Alexis. Trace Lapping. Trace Lapping has been my go-to drafter for the past few years now. He is always willing and able to help other students throughout the class and has gone far beyond the program set level. This last year, he accepted an internship with a local engineering firm and has been working for them on real-world projects. Not only did this allow him to find his area of interest, but also he can go on to college with a firm grasp on what he needs to do to get there. Trace also competed at Skills USA these last 2 years, both in technical drafting and in architectural drafting. Recently, Trace volunteered to be part of a local community action contest, and his team was picked as a finalist in the contest and won $4,000 with Trace's drawings. Trace has also given back to the school in several of his projects, including house drawings that were approved at the City of St. Helens for the high school's construction program. He was also instrumental in creating plans for redesigning the construction program addition, the culinary arts remodel, and the school's main office renovation. Please congratulate Trace Lapping.
Ms. Bonnie Adams, St. Helens High School.
Okay, Pacey Littleton is my Student of the Year for the Manufacturing Technology Program. When I talk about my Manufacturing Student of the Year, Pacey Littleton, I literally gush. In my opinion, Pacey is the poster child for the perfect metal shop student. I even considered making a wall poster of Pacey spattered with tags such as always uses class time wisely, helps others, has mad shop skills, is productive, works independently, and so on. This sounds a little silly, but the truth is Pacey is all of these things and more. Since I am limited to 400 words, I will focus on the attributes that most impress me. They are reliability, integrity, dedication, time management, and an outstanding work ethic. It amazes me how such important words can sound so boring. It is a great relief to me knowing that every day I can rely on Pacey to be on time, to be prepared to work, to use his shop time wisely. I can also rely on him to do his homework even when it is not assigned. If there is a question concerning a process or machine, Pacey will take it upon himself to search the internet for the answer and then share it with the class. Pacey has learned the very important concept of spending most of one's time planning, preparing, and practicing skills so that the actual time creating a project is quick and productive. Outstanding work ethic. This school year, Pacey has completed light brackets for his truck, a utility trailer renovation, a surfboard table, and a truck roof rack. These projects were in addition to helping other students who lack the skills necessary to complete their own work and to bail out the shop when we are given a quick turnaround job. A few weeks ago, Pacey received a 4-year scholarship to the Oregon Manufacturing Innovation Center located in Wilsonville and Scappoose, where I am positive he will excel and impress his instructors with his passion for knowledge, his willingness to help, and his professionalism. Tonight, I would like to thank Pacey for his dedication to the Metals program. Over the past 4 years, his behavior and craftsmanship have helped me set a higher standard of quality for all of our students. It is my honor to introduce you, Pacey Littleton. David Parks is my Student of the Year for Rapid Manufacturing. Every day when David Parks walks into my class, I think I really need to do something spectacular for him to show him how much I appreciate all of his hard work over the past 2 years. So it is such an honor for me to be able to recognize him here at Student of the Year for the Rapid Manufacturing Program. When I interact with David, it feels like I'm interacting with a colleague and not a student. His ability to fully listen and then produce exactly what I ask for him is inspiring to me as a teacher. Rapid Manufacturing is a once-a-year semester-long class. This makes it very difficult to get all the different pieces of equipment that we have, let alone master any of them. During David's first semester, he showed so much promise that I asked if he would be interested in becoming an intern, one who would help develop projects that other students would want to make. The catch was he would have to write the instructions for the projects and work independently without a lot of instruction from me. He took on the challenge and did a great job. He came back for a second year this last fall and was a leader in the vinyl department. He and his coworker did such a great job that I did little, if any, teaching to the new students during the vinyl unit. When that unit ended, David took up learning other machines and continued helping his classmates. At the end of fall semester, he agreed to another internship and helped establish one of our main goals for rapid manufacturing of developing and running a student-led business. Over the last 2 years, David has helped bring in $800 from banners and signage that have been created. Recently, we were asked to produce 2 very large signs for our district on 7 days' notice. When I told David of the deadline, he didn't even flinch. He said, no problem, and off he went. He did the computer work, cut the vinyl, gathered his helpers, and completed the sign 2 days early. He is a natural leader, and the outcome was perfect. I am not the only teacher at the high school that feels David is a special person with a very bright future. He takes all of the tough classes, gets mostly A's, and is also a star baseball player. David Crooks.
Mr. Jason Galbraith, Sunset High School.
So this year's computer science student of the year is Austin Holst. Austin has shown the most growth of any of the computer science students this year. To be honest, I wasn't sure about him at first, but he kept on improving and improving, and so I was proven wrong. He has completed 2 levels of video game design, web design, 2 levels of computer hardware, our Java programming class, and is currently finishing up C++ and data structures. Java, C++, and data structures are all college credit classes. While he often jokes about his lack of ability in programming compared to his peers, he's emerging as one of the strongest in the class. Austin's problem-solving is excellent, and he has a good attitude towards the often frustrating art of coding. We're completing one of the hardest projects in our data structures class, and he is one of the first 5 to have completed it. I'm excited to see what an open mind and a good attitude will do for him as he pursues his computer science degree. Congratulations, Austin.
Miss Katie Gear, Sunset High School.
I am pleased to announce our winner for engineering technology is Trevor Horine. Trevor is exactly the kind of engineering student you want. He's taken 3D design, 2 levels of robotics, game design, Java programming, electronics, mechatronics, finishing up C++, and data structures in our engineering capstone class. He's also been a TA, completed independent study classes, while becoming one of the first completers of our brand new engineering pathway. As a side note, he, at the same time, completed our computer science pathway. Besides just taking a bunch of classes, Trevor is also an excellent student of engineering. He has that problem-solving spirit that lets him confront any challenge with enthusiasm for the process as well as the solution. He never says, we can't do that. Instead, he says, what could go wrong, and dives in. Admittedly, this sometimes makes for a nervous teacher, but that is exactly the attitude we try to instill in engineering, so it's hard to complain too much. Trevor is also an Eagle Scout, and these leadership qualities show themselves well in the classroom. He's always willing to tackle a project, be a great team member, help anyone who needs it. He's also, I think, repaired every piece of equipment in our new engineering room. He's been an asset to our new program, and I jealously hand him off to OSU's engineering program next year, where I'm sure he will continue to dive into whatever problems await him. Congratulations.
Okay, for Mr. Steve Fulton, we have Christina Moore, Tigard High School.
We're not sure what happened to Fulton, so hopefully he's fine. All right, I'll be presenting the CTE award for computer technology for Robert Cousineau. Robert Cousineau has completed both the computer science and information technology programs of study, amassing 9 professional certifications, which, by the way, you know, if Fulton was here, he would have printed out all 9 of them and handed it to Robert, so you can just imagine that happening right now. So all 9 include Computer Technology Industry Association, CompTIA, IT Fundamentals Certification,
Microsoft Technology Associate, MTA, Network Fundamentals, Security Fundamentals, Windows Operating System Fundamentals, wow, sorry, it's a lot. Database Fundamentals, HTML Applications, Programming in Java, and Programming in Python. He has also completed 4 hours of CS dual credit through Portland Community College and challenged the Advanced Placement Computer Science, awaiting score. Outside his IT and CS coursework, he has also posted a 3.5 GPA, including multiple international bachelor or IB classes, and 1 dual credit statistics course with Portland State University. But his achievements don't stop there. He also won an internship with Intel, working after school at their campus, writing test programs to validate products before they went into general production. His work has been noted by other potential employers, and he has received a job offer as a programmer that will begin after graduation. Imagine having a job paying $40K a year with benefits on the first Monday after graduation. Yeah, pretty good. He still plans to continue his education, beginning with PCC in the fall. Congratulations, Robert.
Mr. Chaklotti, Tigard High School.
I'm introducing Jacob Jones, Tigard High School's Multimedia CTE Student of the Year. Everyone on our campus has seen Jacob's work. Maybe it was while they were flipping through the yearbook or reading the school newspaper, but certainly it was while they were watching our YouTube video broadcast show, Tigard Today, in their second block class. Beyond technical mastery of video production, his work can be beautiful, funny, political, or poignant. He always knows how to strike the right tone. He has devoted hundreds of hours in the pub's room working to create videos for the community of Tigard. Even though it is only 2 years old, our broadcast program has been very successful in the Northwest Scholastic Press Awards. They received first place, Best of Show at the Fall Press Day for the last 2 years running. And they won excellent ratings in human interest and broadcast categories for the Media Olympics. Jacob recently received the Visual Arts Award at our school's top student award ceremony. While his expertise in video production is outstanding, Jacob's service to community should also be celebrated. He puts the we before the me in all that he creates, and as a result, our Tigard community has benefited greatly. On a personal note, 1973, I was in Army basic training, and I was introduced by Senior Drill Sergeant Foss to Murphy's Law. Only when Senior Drill Sergeant Foss introduced it, it was Murphy's Law. And Murphy's Law, according to Senior Drill Sergeant Foss, was that if anything can go wrong, it will. And in video production, nothing could be more true. There's a video sequence where the audio is off. You need to edit a choppy sequence to give it impact and make it smooth, and Jacob has excelled in those things. Our Tigard Today broadcast, I think, has been instrumental in bringing a sense of community to a very diverse student body of 2,000 kids at Tigard High School. So congratulations and thank you, Mr. Jacob Jones.
Ms. Christina Moore, back again.
Yeah. All right, I'm introducing this award for Darby Cox for the Engineering and CAD program. Last year, I was a new teacher, and there was a couple students who were amazing at helping me getting the engineering and CAD program together, but one in particular led the path. He helped me install 3D printers and test equipment like the Pocket NC that runs on Linux, still getting that one running, but without him, I wouldn't have gotten very far. And creating new ideas for future assignments and future projects. If I could he's definitely the one for this award. When taking my classes, there was one student who's led this path in engineering products. When he took Intro to Engineering, he created the best catapult launched at 42 feet. And CAD class, he not only received top marks, but he helped me update the final project of the marble machine. And this last year, we have the new class, Digital Design and Fabrication. He transformed and redesigned the battery-powered 3D printed car project, which I will now be changing how this project is for future semesters. His curiosity has helped my classroom grow by testing out the equipment before I even learned it myself. Again, that Pocket NC. There were several occasions he taught me how to use or troubleshoot the tools in my own classroom. Not only has he been an asset in my class, he's been a part of the tech club for all 4 years. He has worked on various parts of the robot and designed several arm mechanisms, including the 3D printed devices for it. I'm sure Team 750 Gears in Motion will miss you. I will also be missing Darby Cox in the future engineering and CAD classes as well. He has a bright future ahead of him, pursuing mechanical or civil technician at PCC. Congrats, Darby.
Ms. Susettage, Tigard High School.
Good evening. I just want to start by saying that this is my 5th year being at the award ceremony and having the pleasure of giving out an award to a Tigard High marketing student. And every year I sit in the audience like all of you are tonight, and I hear these stories about these students, and I just think, wow, this is an amazing future we have here, and how lucky we are as CTE teachers, because we get to work with these students who are driven, and they know how to show up on time, they work hard every day, they work with others really well. They just have all the skills already as teenagers of people that don't in the workforce today don't have. And it's just so great to be a CTE teacher because these are the type of students we get to work with every day. And every year I sit and think there's no way that we can have better stories than we had last year. And now I'm sitting here today going, oh my gosh, we have better stories than last year. This is crazy. And this year we also happen to have our keynote speaker, Brennan, did an amazing job. He's a student. So thanks for sharing your story with us and blowing us out of the water with all you do. And I figure like next year we won't even have to show because they can just run the whole show and give themselves the awards. It'll be awesome. So this may be my last time. I don't know. Anyways, I'm pleased to give Tigard High School's Marketing CTE Student of the Year to Abel Rodriguez. Abel has earned A's in all of our business classes. What I like about Abel is he hasn't just taken marketing, he's taken a little bit of every single business class we have at Tigard High. He's very respectful, he has a strong work ethic. Abel is very determined, he is well liked, he works well with his peers, and he's a natural leader. Not only did he complete Introduction to Business Marketing and a sports marketing class, but again, he took our other classes in the business department. Personal Finance, Accounting 1, and Accounting 2. He is ready to do well in business and life. We know he will be successful in college and in whatever business career he chooses. He's also an excellent golfer, so he has something to do in his free time. And please help me congratulate our 2018 Tigard High School Marketing CTE Award winner, Abel Rodriguez. Probably golfing.
Mr. James McCaffrey, Tualatin High School.
Well said, Sue, about this amazing group of people here. I'm proud to award Evan Mulhy as a Student of the Year at Tualatin High School in our Accounting and Finance program of study. I've now taught for 15 years, and Evan is by far one of the best accounting students that I've come through in our program. He has exceptional intuitiveness as it relates to accounting process. Rarely have I had to explain something more than once before he could immediately apply it and then use it as steps forward with great meaning. He has such an innate skill that most do not possess in any subject matter. It's incredibly valuable when we're talking about the accounting process. Evan can boast, though he never would, that he is both the 2017 and 2018 reigning Future Business Leaders of America Oregon State Champion in Accounting 1 and Advanced Accounting. He has qualified for nationals every year. He has taken his skills and competed at the national level, as I say, against the best, and has represented our school, our district, our program of study, and most importantly, his family exceptionally well. Next year, Evan will serve as the Tualatin FBLA Chapter Chief Financial Officer. Congratulations, Evan.
Mr. David Ellingson, Tualatin High School.
So I'll keep this one kind of a shorter one. Jacob Beeler, come on up. Jacob's an awesome student, and I don't say it lightly. I say that having just conversed last week with a former student who's now graduated from Stanford and is a doctor. So yes, Jacob is one of my best students that I've had. Now, I gotta say this, selflessly promoting, Brendan, you wanna hire him. No, you really do. As a bonus, beyond all of his other traits that he's worked with, the 3D printers, the lasers, the CNC machines, he's working on 5-axis milling now. He can also weld. Nah, he really can. But Jacob is an awesome kid. I've watched a lot of different kids over the past 15 years, and he is one of the top 5 students that I've had. He works hard. Oftentimes when I go to take attendance, I'm looking, oh, he's in the back working already. He occasionally will come into my classroom when it's not his class, and I look over, what are you doing? I had a pass to go to the bathroom. I figured I'd get this project started. No, go back to your other class. No, he's an awesome kid, but he knows when to put stuff down and go spend time with family and take some time off. He's a great kid, and I love having him. Thanks for coming.
Ms. Jill Hubbard, Tualatin High School, is going to be stepping in for 2 other teachers who were not able to attend this evening, as well as hers.
I'd like to introduce Elaine Meslow, Tualatin High School's Computer Technology CTE Student of the Year. Elaine has a passion for computer science. She's taken art technology courses, including digital design and fabrication, game design, web design, computer systems, and computer-aided design, and earned college credit in both Computer Science 1 and Computer Science 2. Portland State University elected Elaine as a summer intern in the Computer Science Department, where she worked to develop online educational cybersecurity tutorials. Elaine is not only strong technically, she has also developed strong leadership skills. Elaine served as the student representative for Tualatin's America's Best Community Grant. She provided the student perspective around building a mobile makerspace, determining the best ways to use a mobile makerspace, and shared her ideas with higher ed, city, and community leaders. She represented our school in the broader community, helping to guide the work to ensure student needs were met. Elaine founded Tualatin High School's Girls Who Code Club and has led the initiative for the past 2 years, striving to create a welcoming community for young women interested in technology. I've watched her set up lessons and processes to ensure that all team members were heard and valued. Elaine takes ownership and accountability for everything she's involved in. I regularly ask her to lead initiatives because I know that she'll not only make things happen, but do it in a way that encourages and includes others. She will be hugely missed at Tualatin High School next year. Congratulations and thank you, Elaine. I'd like to introduce Caitlin O'Donnell. She's our CT Student of the Year in Culinary Arts, and these words, Caitlin, are from Miss McManus. Katie was selected as our Senior Culinary Arts Student of the Year, and she has completed all levels of culinary arts, Culinary 1, 2, 3, and 4, and taken baking and pastry. Katie has also taken culinary management her entire senior year. She has gone above and beyond to help her culinary 3 and 4 classmates be successful in the operation of their restaurants. Katie has also helped in the culinary management class to take care of necessary tasks to keep the cafe, classroom, and restaurant operating smoothly. Katie plans to continue on to culinary arts in the fall. We wish her the best of luck in culinary adventures. Congratulations, Katie. I'd like to introduce Adeline Alfred. Adeline is Tualatin's Health Science CTE Student of the Year, and these words are from Miss Gorka. I have worked with Adeline for the past 2 years in our health science program. Last year, she took my human body systems course and worked hard in the class. Her enthusiasm was contagious. I told the students about my experiences taking CAN or Certified Nursing Assistant courses and becoming a CNA, and Adeline decided to join me in the adventure. She took the CNA class at PCC last summer and became a CNA. In my medical career explorations course, she has shared great stories of her job experiences and has also frequently helped other students to learn the various skills. When she competed at HOSA, the state competition this year, she took first place in the nursing assistant competition. We are traveling together this summer to the International HOSA competition in Dallas, Texas. Adeline is very professional in her interactions with others, and I know she will succeed in what she eventually decides to do. I chuckle to myself when she goes on a job shadow because I know she will find a passion in that new job. Adeline has been an inspiration to me to do my best as a teacher. It is for these reasons that I chose her as our Health Sciences Student of the Year. Congratulations, Adeline.
Mr. Scott Guthrie, Westview High School.
I'd like to introduce Chris Parra, the 2018 Westview CTE Digital Media Student of the Year. This year's Digital Media Student of the Year award recipient is Chris Parra. Chris is the go-to filmmaker at Westview. He's involved in Westview leadership activities, Westview Cat Crew, student government, Westview TV News, which he edits on the weekends, athletics, and is the yearbook photographer. Chris has been a finalist in the district's annual film contest, Signal to Noise, for the last 2 years. Chris is kind, works great in groups, very creative, and has a never-say-no attitude. Chris is the lifeblood of our media program, and I wish there were some way that I could flunk him to keep him at Westview. I wish him all the best and know that wherever he lands, he'll succeed. We at Westview will surely miss him. Congratulations, Chris Parra, Westview Digital Media Student of the Year. Yes. What's that?
Got something on the screen. Where'd it come from?
Oh, I don't know. Oh. It's a software update. Yeah.
Maybe that update can wait.
So can they switch? Yeah, okay. Got it. Okay, I'd like to introduce Edward Leam. It is a pleasure and honor that we recognize Edward Leam as Westview High School's CTE Design Engineering Student of the Year. In the 4 years that Edward attended Westview High School, he has achieved high proficient grades in every CTE engineering class he was enrolled. He has been a mentor, peer teacher, a friend, a fixer, an IT, and wonderful example for our younger students. He is also one of the best teacher assistants that our CTE program and department has ever had. As our teacher's assistant, Edward was assigned a variety of tasks that his overworked and underpaid teachers, Mr. Yokishani and Mr. Kamakaala, did not have time, knowledge, desire, or patience to do. Wow. No project is too big or difficult for Edward, and he always had a smile getting them done. He is our assembly line and repair expert as well as our in-house IT person. Edward is also responsible for researching, assembling, troubleshooting, and developing the step-by-step user instructions for all of newly 98 purchased equipment. Thank you, Edward. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, everyone. Hey, Beth, a few moments? Okay.
I'd like to, first of all, recognize our board of directors for PCC. Their leadership helps to support CTE in our region, and I am very grateful to what they do to help our high school programs that we sponsor as well. I'd like to say thank you to all the students that were here tonight. Thank you for all the work that you've done. Thank you for the bright futures that you're painting for all of us as well, too. And thank you to all the teachers, because we know without you, they wouldn't have had this opportunity. And thank you to all the parents, the first teachers. We're so pleased that you've raised these children to become the fantastic adults that they now are, and that they'll be out there guiding us as we work through the challenges that await all of us here in our country and the world. I'd also like to thank our industry partners who came here tonight, and all of our PCC officials and representatives, including our president of Rock Creek campus, who is soon to retire. I'd also like to thank all of the technical staff here at the Performing Arts. Every year, they make sure that this goes well for us and that we can have a pleasant event for everyone. And our videographers, who will be putting together the DVD that you will get to share this memory and look back on it someday when you're thinking, when you've got grandchildren or kids that are going to be graduating from high school, say, look what I did someday. And so you'll have a DVD if that's still used, then. I'm not sure if it will be. And I'd like to thank my staff, my PACTEC staff, who spend a lot of extra time putting this together and making sure that it goes off well. They are an amazing staff to work with, and I'm very, very thankful for everything that they do. And I have one special thing that I wanted to share too. I have, for the last 5 years that we've been doing this event, Robin Foline has been so great at organizing all of this and then being our MC, and she's going to retire very, very soon. So Robin, thank you, Robin. Come on up. This is her project. And she's put her heart into this, and so we hope that you recognize that, and I'm going to miss her next year, but I'm going to invite her and see if she'll come back, too. And we hope that you enjoyed the meal tonight, too, our hors d'oeuvres, and like to thank the catering staff. We're so glad that you all came. We wish you all the best, and we hope that all of you continue doing the great work that you do. Thank you so much, and safe travels.